Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, December 10th, and this is the AM show hosted live on AlphaMint. As always, I am your host, R2DGen, joined with me by none other than the Winter Wolf himself, free market capitalist.
Good morrow, listeners.
GM to everybody. It is Friday. It has been a good week. I think it is going to be a great day. We've got a great show lined up for you, and I'm excited to just get right into it. How was your Thursday, free market?
Oh, my Thursday was fabulous. I, again, did not have a ton of time to degen, but was observing a few cooks yesterday, as I think the talk of the town was this Dusk Breakers.
Duskbreakers was a pretty good one. Still in pre-reveal, and has had a really solid run up. We'll definitely touch on that. What about what's your thoughts on the crypto market? Some news coming out from Evergrande yesterday that they missed their final payment, and it doesn't seem good in regards to kind of the global economy, and crypto is kind of struggling along with it.
Yeah, I think the backdrop to all of this is it feels like a little bit of a risk off environment right now. In markets, we talk about risk on and risk off as far as whether things are overall bullish or overall bearish. And just recently, it's been this risk off environment, which started with the Evergrande thing going on in China and inflation now rearing its ugly head here in the West. So I think a combination of these things have created a bit of a risk-off environment in general. And while people like to tout crypto as an inflation hedge, even if that is true, in the short term, they are risk assets. And when we're in a risk-off environment, they suffer along with stocks and everything else.
Yeah, so you mentioned in the pre-show real quickly there that it was at 6.8% they listed the inflation at right now.
Yeah, CPI came in this morning and just blew every estimate out of the water. It doesn't seem that even the most hawkish economists got this right, and markets are certainly feeling it today because of it. We could end up, and this was a bit of my forte, that this, even though it was a surprise number, it was expected to be a surprise number. The whisper had been that this was going to be a beat on inflation, so to say. So it was a known unknown, and we could see by midday all the FUD and sellers already washed out and things start to rebound. But yeah, today just has that risk off feel early on with inflation coming in super hot.
Yeah, I just checked my stock portfolio and it is green across the board. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It was funny because all the bears get geared up and they're like, man, we know this inflation number's coming in hot. None of the estimates have this right and blah, blah, blah. But they don't realize that like everyone knows that. Markets do not make those big parabolic moves in either direction unless it's a surprise. Like
right, yeah.
markets are very efficient. So it's just one of those things that it's bad, but we were kind of expecting it, and now it just looks like everything's like, yep, we knew, let's go. And now we're going to, quite frankly, this is the strongest economy I have ever seen in my life. The U.S. is geared to grow at a 12% clip in the fourth quarter. I don't even, this is mind-boggling. Like China at its peak was growing at 15%. I mean, this is a developed Western nation. If there were not supply constraints and the pandemic, I don't even know. Inflation could be 15%. But Milton Friedman, who's a bit of an idol of mine, had a very famous saying: "The good parts of inflation come first." And you want inflation. I mean, the opposite of that is a lot more perilous, and that would be deflation. And we've been in a deflationary environment since 2001, with central banks around the world trying to do anything they could to create inflation. But when you only send stimulus to banks, banks don't lend. They stuff it in a mattress, they give it to rich people, and rich people do conservative things with it. When you do direct stimulus to people who don't have any money, they go out and spend it. And that's what we've seen. That's why inflation is here. And it's not a bad thing, but short term, we see these transient risk-off effects.
Yes, this is the Friday stock edition of the AM show. So, no, but it's interesting.
These
Like,
things affect everything.
and they do, yeah. And I mean, with the size of the asset class that crypto has become, it does move with it too. So, like you said, when people start to go risk off and they start to transfer their funds out of high risk investments into either low risk or even just cash, you see the effects everywhere. That being said, Bitcoin's still hanging around $50,000. Ethereum taking a little bit of a drop back down to 42-ish hundred. On the week, they're down 13% and 8% respectively. Biggest surprise right now for me is Tether has held really strong at $1 this entire time.
Yeah, that could be a buy right there. It's holding that support. I think the most interesting thing, at least for me in crypto right now, is that alts also seem to be getting off the mat here. So as spot kind of carves out either a bull flag or some new support, it seems that alts are at least getting off that low that happened right after the 15% move down in crypto. So alts seem to be firming up a bit, and that's positive for a risk-on environment in the next few days or weeks.
Yeah, there seems to be a pretty even distribution of like some gainers and losers. It's not all red across the board. It's not all green across the board. So, yeah, I think that as we mentioned before, everything's just kind of reorganizing and shaking out. And, only time will tell what the next run looks like, whether it is up or down. But for now, it is just going to the right.
Yes, sir.
Some bullish news, as I like to always say, coming is the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, wants comprehensive, coordinated global crypto regulation. The crypto market's $2.5 trillion market cap could reflect froth in an environment of stretched valuations, argued the IMF. Again, this is just a plea saying like, we have to shut this down. But I mean, the cat's out of the bag. The toothpaste is out of the tube, as you like to say. And this is just a cry for, the globe to kind of coordinate against crypto. Like, we've talked about this, vote with your ballot, vote with your wallet, vote with your feet. You are never going to get the entire world coordinating on an asset class of this size, especially with the amount of wealth that is created for individuals that can leave most of the countries they want, and the crypto can come with them. That's one of the powerful tools of crypto, obviously. And so saying that there's going to be some kind of global coordination is just, it's downright ludicrous, because there's always going to be countries like Australia, we saw yesterday, that want to move forward with these things favorably. And, for people that are holding a $10 million bag of crypto, even, $800,000 of crypto, if all of a sudden your local government says, no, you can't use that, you can't spend that, this is outlawed or banned or whatever, there's a good chance that you might just pack up and memorize your seed phrase and fly off to Australia, and off you go and live a good life where they favor it. So I just think that this is nonsense. This is just them putting out funny headlines to try and do anything that they can, and it always makes me feel really good to see this news.
Tell me you're underexposed to Bitcoin without telling me you're underexposed to Bitcoin. Sounds like someone's looking for an entry. That would be the IMF.
You think? Yeah, well, I mean, it's they've had plenty of opportunity to load up over the past 12 years, but here we are. Yeah, I don't know how much conversation we actually need to have around this, but it's here to stay. It's happening. It might not be as fast as some of us foresee and want, but it is not only on their radar, it is making them worried now. So
one more nail in the Illuminati's coffin.
So speaking of a nice segue, Illuminati ties, Bill Gates says the Metaverse will host most of your office meetings within 2 to 3 years. Here's what it'll look like. And the article kind of goes on to outline, what the Metaverse is, blah, blah, blah.
The best news is you only need 2 shots to get into those meetings. You don't need the third booster. So.
Yeah, The microchip into the metaverse, I guess. Is that right?
There you go.
One of the more entertaining conspiracy theories to come
I'll
out of
tell
the
you what.
pandemic.
One thing I've noticed is that there are quite a few people that I consider old tech guard or Web 2.0 guard, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, as an Apple fan, there are certain tech columnists and opinionists that I would listen to try to just make my analysis and get my picture of everything, and to see them just viscerally react negatively to the metaverse really feels like a change to me, as far as they sense the old guard going away and dying. And often it's very hard to accept, so you see this first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win type of thing. And they seem to be fighting now, saying, I told Bill Gates is out of his mind. I totally disagree. We need face to face. I would never speak to an avatar. Okay. See you in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious to me, love them or hate them, but you talk about like the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. These are people that built very future forward companies into, huge, massive valuations. I mean, for better or for worse, they've changed the face of the world. And when these people who have in the past always had their finger on the pulse of what is coming, because that's how their brains are wired, it's hard to ignore them, regardless of how you feel about Microsoft or Facebook or Apple. The fact that they are pointing their ships in those directions, or in Bill Gates' case, as he's not so much involved in Microsoft anymore, acknowledges the fact that this is coming. And I mean, 2 to 3 years is not a very long timeline. A lot of times these statements are a lot more broader, like, yeah, sometime in the future I could see this, or yeah, maybe in decades or whatever. Like, this is the pandemic in particular has just accelerated all of these things into reality very, very quickly.
I think what people don't realize is that the metaverse already exists, and a lot of people are already living in it, and it's really just going to be about making it a frictionless, easy UI for the majority of people to understand. I mean, we're all fractionalized over Facebook and Twitter and Discord and all these apps, and we know like the grand unifying theory of what is going to be this thing like Wreck-It Ralph, where we all meet in the middle computer from our little arcades type of thing. And it's coming, and I think I like seeing that these guys look to the future, because often these products are going to cannibalize the things that bring in the majority of revenue for their businesses. And it's nice to see them embrace and look forward, whether you agree with their centralized existence or not.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. Like, they are basically pointing at these things that are going to disrupt and destroy their previous business models, and they acknowledge the fact that it's coming. So it is really just an adapt or perish kind of environment, right? And at the end of the day, people have the choice of which ones they want to use. So they either be favorable to the people, or they die, really, right?
And how many companies just sit there and watch these threats come until it's too late, right? Like, yep. Steve Jobs saw mobile phones coming, and he was like, well, the iPod is going to get shot in the head one way or the other. We might as well be the ones who do it. I don't think people understand the size of the risk Apple took with the iPod being the story for them. Many analysts believed without the iPod there would be no Apple, and they came out on stage and shot it in the head themselves. I mean, this is what good companies do. And Microsoft, man, if you look at that monthly chart from 1982, that is bottom left to top right as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always entertaining and fun to talk about these things as well. So yeah, let's take a quick look at some NFTs and look at WGMI. On the one-day change, Tokyo Identities having a killer day yesterday, up over 40%. The floor going from about 23 ETH up to 32 ETH. I have to believe that this is in some way, shape, or form regarding the frustrations that are with the Syn City riddles and the game and whatever. Hmm?
I know what happened here.
Oh, do
Actually,
you? Oh, go.
yeah, I think this is where WGMI and like just watching a floor can get in the way. That floor was at 38 when Syn City started. What I'm guessing
Mm.
happened is one or two people decided to leave Neo Tokyo. Those ones at 35 and 38 have been sitting there for a while. That is the floor, but it's not like these things move every day. And I think someone wanted out quickly, undercut down to like 24, and that's why you saw the floor like,
If
oh,
I
back
can,
up.
if I can
Yeah.
provide the counter argument to that, looking at the 30-day, it was 18, and the 7-day was
Oh,
16. So we got a
it
little
was.
bit of a longer, yeah.
Interesting. It was well, okay. So that thing's been all over the place, but
I do agree
that
with you, though. The one day
yeah,
can be very misleading. You could
yeah,
just catch that one person trying to liquidate a position and undercutting the floor dramatically to make it an appealing buy. This one in
yeah. I thought I
general,
saw that.
no, all good. 30
Cool.
days, it's up 70%. 7 days, it's up 95%. And then, yeah, having a great day yesterday as well. Obviously, a lot of people have drawn parallels between Syn City and their riddles, the Neo Tokyo kind of metaverse thing that they're building. And I just wonder if maybe people were like, fuck Syn City, as it kind of got exposed that maybe it's a reskin. We'll talk about that pretty soon, too. But yeah, up to a 32, and only 17 of them listed in a 2,000 item drop. So it's gonna, yeah, the floor is paper thin on that.
Yeah.
But most people are going to be priced out of even participating. So yeah, pretty big news coming out of Twitter yesterday. Punk 4156 sold Punk 4156.
Yes, this was one of the, I mean, maybe the premier ape in the collection. A very famous punk who I believe bought it for 165 ETH back in the day, and he sold it yesterday for 2,500, which is the fourth largest CryptoPunk sale in ETH terms. Though now that Ethereum has rallied so much, I believe in dollar terms, it does tie or come very close to the highest sale, which was 11.6 million. To Sotheby's, we are ignoring the known wash trade publicity stunt where the guy did a six-figure sale to himself. We're talking about legitimate sales.
Six figure
One
in
person
ETH.
to another. So, yeah.
Yeah. Which is wild to say. Yeah.
Sorry. A nine-figure CryptoPunk wash trade. So this was really big news, especially the reasoning behind it, which is this not going away funk movement, which seemed to at least get quiet for a week, and boy, has come back even stronger than ever. I mean, the amount of high-profile influencers and punks dumping their punks and buying these things is incredible. This movement is legitimate, and there is a big debate in the NFT world right now about licensing rights.
Yeah.
Some people are saying who cares, and other people are saying this is the future and every collection should do it. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, but it's a great discussion I think going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, punks are going through some kind of culture change. I don't know. They're battling everyone and anyone, including themselves, arguing about whether Larva Labs is right, whether they're wrong, whether they should be turning their back on them or doubling down. The funks are going at them. They're going at the funks. I saw some pretty vicious tweets back and forth there that I'm not going to show. Apes and punks are going at each other, and it kind of just feels like the culture of crypto punks in general is imploding. Now, that being said, these are all worth high hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So good problems to have. But, it does feel like their grasp on the reins of the profile picture world are slipping a little bit. I don't know. Like it feels like there's some losing control. And Larva Labs has remained pretty well silent throughout all of it.
Right. I am a proud and known anti-punk, defined by my Begone obsession, but we're entering max FUD for punks here, right? Like in these next few days or weeks, we're going to see a bottom in the in the price, and we're going to see, I bet, some high-profile people move back into punks. And this in no way to me says that punks are dead or going away. And while it's falling on deaf ears right now, to their point, punks are historic. That is, and it's not that they were the first, it was that they were the first everyone knew about. And I don't care how much value you want to subscribe to that yourself, this definitely has value. And that is what punks will survive on long term. Short term utility is the name of the game, and Bored Ape Yacht Club is owning that, and it's helping to throw gasoline on this fire, all combined with the licensing rights issues, of which many of the competing punk collections like Begons or Funks give you complete licensing rights over what you buy. I do think this will be a very revolutionary part of NFTs next year and going forward. Do I think every collection needs to do it? No, I think it's a ridiculous way to frame this. And I'm bullish on punks now because everybody is so bearish. And I've been bearish on punks for a few weeks and months. So, that's how I see it. I don't think punk, if you have the funds, I'm not saying run out and buy a punk today. I do think there's going to be a flippening with apes. I do think Begons and Funks are going to have a frothy hype cycle that is going to be like, oh, it's the new thing, blah, blah, blah. And then punks will come back. Those things will die down and find new support, and things will feel slightly normal again. But I'm starting to get bullish on punks again because the contrarian in me does not like how bearish everyone is.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair. I'm certainly not expecting CryptoPunks to be down to like a 4 ETH floor anytime soon or anything. Like that's just
we can all pack it up if that happens.
So that's the market death knell. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. But yeah, you know what? Looking at the Begans that we talk about somewhat frequently, and not a troll. I did see Jake the Degen buy one sometime in the evening last night. Jake is one of the bigger punks on Twitter, and seeing him pick up a bastard was pretty bullish on that. And I know combined with our own opinions of them and the floor sitting at a really juicy 0.18, I actually bought 2 more of them this morning, just feeling a little frisky, like there could be a run up here as the punks kind of start a civil war with everyone.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear any more about Begons, you may have to mute my Twitter stream for the next few weeks, because I have taken it as a personal mission and charge to get these things into the lexicon of punks who are now actually open to derivatives.
Two big punks buying them in the last 3 days is
yes, one of which I'll consider my handiwork. And I think that as we see more, when I say these are the original anti-punk, they were, and they really define what the funks are trying to do. There were so many reasons that this collection couldn't get off the ground, from the fact that they launched into the teeth of the last bear market at a very high price relative to where they were, that they were a derivatives when all derivatives were considered a no-no by punks. And to top it off, it's literally the most complicated collection you have ever seen. The traits are still not completely organized by the creators and community managers there, and you'll see a lot of these punks start off buying floors just because it's so difficult to understand how to value a rare. You almost need a consultant. Hey, anyone out there, give me a call. I'm here. But that's why, those are the 3 big reasons I think that they have not taken off, and I think the environment is ripe for them too. So I will be talking about Begons a lot. I love them. I'm passionate about them, and you guys should go check them out, because I think they're going to have a move here on all this anti-punk sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely. Some more stuff on Twitter. Pepsi, we talked about yesterday, is doing an NFT drop of about 1,900 pieces. They are called the Mic Drop. Be on the lookout today for how to get on the wait list. They are dropping it at some point. I've heard that noon might be the time, but do not quote me on that. And it is going to be a race to sign up for that and get on the wait list. And as far as I could tell, based on their Twitter, you won't actually know if you made it until the NFT drop on the 14th of December when you go to the page, connect your wallet, and see if you were able to do so. But in light of all of these other like big brands having NFT drops, as we mentioned yesterday, this one looks like it is not going to be any different. It could be an absolute cook. It is a free mint as well, so if you are have any interest in this at all or any availability, it would be crazy not to at least give it a shot.
I think all of these.
Oh, sorry. I'm just going to cut you off real quick. Chris yes. in the chat did actually confirm that it is news. It is noon, and it wasn't a press release, which I must have missed. So thank you for that, Chris. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I think that Pepsi and Budweiser and all of these are very obvious plays people should pay attention to. And this is gearing to be at least the second biggest drop of the day. It's free. And if you just look at what happened with Budweiser, I think you should give this one a shot. I hate how it's like fastest click gets it, because we know that people may already be designing bots to attempt to bot this thing. I would much prefer just, sign up for a wait list, pick a raffle. You get it or you don't get it, if that's how they wanted to do it. But it is what it is. See if you can grab that free mint. It is gearing to be the second hottest drop of the day behind those little lemons.
Nice plug. Yeah. Pepsi is a free mint, guys. So I mean, the asymmetric upside there is incredible because there's almost no downside minus the gas fees. So just go turn notifications on at Pepsi on Twitter and keep an eye out for it.
Someone offered me $33 for my Macy's NFT, which I paid 0 for. I am up infinity%. Let's see who else is up infinity% here, huh? All right.
That's amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Speaking of little lemon friends, did I just something just unplugged on my computer? I got the notification sound. Are we good?
You're good. You sound great.
Okay, good. Little Lemon Friends dropping today. Give us the outline on the whitelist, and we won't talk too much about it, but there's going to be lots of action on that over the weekend.
Yeah, I won't talk about how bullish I am anymore. We can get down to hard details here. We have a whitelist pre-sale beginning today at 3 p.m. That is a 5 max per wallet. If you are on the whitelist, it is a 0.025 mint. In their tests last night, they were paying about 0.01 in gas. So you're probably looking at something between 0.175 and 0.2 if you were going to max mint all 5 of your lemons. You do have 48 hours if you are on the pre-sale, the whitelist. There is also a pre-sale for both Cool Cats and Toy Boogers, which will begin tomorrow, and then you will have 24 hours to max mint 2 if you own an NFT from either of those collections. In your wallet, it is per wallet, it is not per NFT. And if there is a public sale, as it is looking like this pre-sale is one of the hotter tickets in town, but if there is a public sale, the rest will go to the public. There will also be a 5 max per transaction with 15 total per wallet. So if you did mint 5 in the pre-sale, you can mint another 10. If you didn't mint any, you can mint 15 total in 3 transactions. That is Little Lemon's Friends NFT on Twitter. And we are doing an Alpha Mint Spaces launch party hosted by Maz with Sonerius and all the Little Lemon Friends tonight. That would be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Twitter Spaces with Maz, and I am beyond pumped. Pumped would be an understatement.
Yeah, go check out the spaces. If you have any more interest in Little Lemon Friends but aren't in it yet, we did do an interview with Sonerius. Was it last week, I believe? It is up on YouTube, and that was a lot of fun to have the conversation with him as well. And I see that the sorry to go on a side tangent, but gas just shot up to 1,600 as the Punks comics, I think, is what I was minting right now. I was just like, I just saw gas go absolutely bananas, but
I get a crazy hectic text this morning. 40 Gwei, I'm putting something together at Gwei. I'm like, wow, and now 1,600. What a day. We've hit both ends of the spectrum.
The highs and lows. Yeah, 40 Gwei I was able to do some transactions for. So if you have any of those games that you're playing or whatever, 6 a.m. seems to be an optimal time Eastern.
And you know what I do with orcs? I push my transactions through before bed. I mean, I know I'm not going to be minting while I sleep, at least not usually, and I just push the transaction through. Usually it's 60, because it does tend to get there overnight, and then I wake up to a clear transaction. So if you're in those games, push your actions through before bed at a low Gwei instead of paying what the at now rate is.
Yeah, you got it. Let's talk Syn City a little bit here. The riddle the riddle after I think somewhere in the ballpark of 60 to 72 hours was finally solved. It was wild to see the entire NFT space kind of rally around solving these riddles, but they were I want to say excessively hard, and there was a lot of detail and a lot of information to digest with it, but it was also excessively oh god, I don't even know what the word is. Like, they just, when you look at the answers in hindsight, there wasn't that like, oh shit, it was so simple. It was like, oh fuck, really? Like, that's what you had to do? For those of you that don't know, it was, as they said, an absolute troll job. Finally, you had to take the city that the mobsters were from that was linked to your Discord ID, so everyone had a unique thing, and you had to just put the word Syn, spelt with a Y, in front of it. Okay, so like, you know, they kept saying the answer is in the name, and I guess like you were supposed to derive the fact that you're just supposed to put the fucking word Syn in front of Philadelphia, and that ended up being it. But on top of all of that, the devs were trolling a lot of the time too, being like, is it case sensitive? Maybe we should turn that off. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't anyways. I'm not really sure. And it just felt like eventually it was like, who, you know, could try the most combinations of ridiculous things and finally strike gold. It was MVHQ that ended up solving it. They had about 200 people working on it. The fact that AlphaMint with about 40 regular contributors was neck and neck with them the entire time was pretty incredible. But at the end of the day, it just didn't feel like a satisfying answer. Normally, once you get the results, you can kind of retrospectively look back and say, oh God, it all makes sense now. And this just didn't feel like it was it. So yeah, the other 200 passes were minted out. The floor has gone down to 2.5 right now, down from about 4 ETH yesterday. And I feel like, you know, this combined with the Neo Tokyo pump in the last day might be the market just saying, I'm done with this project. There were reports that this was something that was purchased in just a reskinned mobile game from back in like the mid 2000s, late 2000s. And it just, it felt like they were very disrespectful towards community's time in the end of it. So the general theory is that Wave 3 should be even harder than that, and I just can't believe that people are going to partake.
Now, I'm not saying that I wish an incurable form of syphilis on these developers
Jesus Christ.
for the last 60 days or 60 hours that we just went through, but
this is a cliffhanger. You just said but and then cut out.
Yep, nope, that's all I got.
Oh, I was like, okay, let's see how dark this starts to get. No, honestly, like, it was fun for a little bit. If this had been something that was very difficult and solved within the first 36 hours, without a bunch of like hints from the devs, it would have been good. But you shouldn't rely on hints that they're dropping within 48 hours later to kind of point you in the right direction. It just means that the answers aren't apparent enough, which, by the way, answers that had no questions, right? So you had to derive the answers from all of the clues. People got pretty close, but let's face it, this would not have been solved without the devs' hints on Twitter. And it was also pretty frustrating that at one point they just said, hey, here's all the information that has been solved at one point. Like, everybody can have it now. And all of the teams that had worked so hard to get that far now just found themselves on even footing with people who were jumping in 40 hours later. So honestly, yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this.
Yes, I agree.
So we don't have to talk about that much more, but I'm watching very closely to see what happens with their next wave of passes, and if people just throw their hands up or if they make it dramatically easier. I have no idea. But here we are, talking more about yesterday. Duskbreakers ended up being a bit of a cook. It is sitting at about a 0.4 floor right now. Just going to refresh that and check because it's been moving fast. 0.355 right now. Duskbreakers is still pre-reveal. It was down as low as 0.15-ish yesterday morning. I bought one at that level, but it has just had a steady increase as they march towards the reveal. So, and I think that they had to delay it a little bit as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know quite a few AM members got in on that mint, and it is still holding a 0.37 floor here. So I'm eager to see that reveal. I am not too familiar with the art, but a lot of people seem to like it.
Yeah, the ownership's getting pretty wide on it. It's sitting at about 4,000 independent individual owners on a 10K project, and the floor is high. So
Wow.
it's going to be interesting to watch what happens post reveal. Normally that ownership level is dramatically lower as people kind of hold a large amount of them waiting for the reveal. They pick out the rares, sell them for a lot, and then dump their floors. This might be shaping up to be a little bit different. If somebody knows when the estimated reveal is, just drop it in the chat and I'll relay that information. I haven't been following it super closely. But yeah, Duskbreakers has been a bit of a ride for sure.
Yeah, that's really impressive stuff.
All right. Okay, so we're looking at about 45 minutes into the episode. Anything else you want to talk about? I do know that some people were inquiring about crypto champions, so we'll finish off with that while we let people put their hands up. But what else do you got going on today?
Well, yeah, Crypto Champions was something that Meme God, shout out to Meme God, had us take a look at. And I actually think this is a pretty good case study. And forgive me if I'm going to be a little harsh here on this project, because there are a few red flags that I think stood out here. So, you know, when I look at the art, it's very reminiscent of a few projects that seem to have garnered a ton of manufactured hype through, decent Discord numbers, some engagement and stuff. But there's not a lot of followers on Twitter for this. And when I saw the mint price, I was taken aback, as to ask 0.25 for a mint. You're usually a very well-known team with a very high-profile project. I hadn't heard of them. And
yeah, we even said the Littles was pushing the limits with 0.125.
Yeah, and this was a very high-profile project. We knew, like, there were secret interoperability things going on behind the scenes and all that. And even when we said it was very high, I was like, it's going to sell out, it's going to be popular, etc. These guys, I don't get that feeling from them. All the art looks also strikingly similar. I feel like if these were in PFPs, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart very easily. And then Cobain pointed out one very, very strange announcement to me. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to pull this up. And for some context while I'm reading this has since been deleted, and they backtracked dramatically on it. But this should give you an indication of where the team's mindset was and how highly they think of their project, which you might think is not a bad thing. But just pulling it up here. And I'm gonna read this out maybe in its entirety, and it just is at everyone. As you know, there is no place for paper hands and flippers in this community. We are here for the long run. That's why we have decided to remove all utilities for the ones who don't have a long-term mindset, and decided to create an SPA, minimum selling price agreement. We chose the price of 2 ETH 2 ETH, because we believe that this is the value that comes with the project, and it is a great middle term ROI to work towards. How does it work? If you sell or list one crypto champions under the price of 2 ETH on OpenSea, and then there's a whole bunch of big X's, you will be banned from the Discord server forever. You will not access the games to increase the value of your NFT. You will never be able to attend our networking events. You will never receive a reward from the $1 million wallet. I'll talk about that later. You will never have access to the premium courses available to the community, never receive a personal dog tag, etc., etc. Private Zoom calls with celebrities, financial support from the community fund, disqualified from our giveaways. If we all follow this SPA, the floor will go up extremely fast. We just need 8,888 people with the same philosophy, and everyone will win big. LFT, I don't know what that means, long fucking term, maybe? So, look, I don't want to FUD anybody that's bullish on this project. They have there are some redeeming factors. The quality of the 3D is pretty good. They have a very large community. They seem to be very confident in their ability to execute this. But there's definitely some strong feelings that I have towards somebody that would think that this is an okay memo, I guess, if you want to call it that, to post on their Discord. This is not a good way to view your project. You can't ask for people to give you 10,000 to, I'm quick math there, 2,500 ETH to build this project, $11-12 million, and say, don't you dare fucking sell this either, right?
If you are going to sell out a collection of 8,888 pieces, and I don't care, this is a 0.25 mint, which is fucking egregious. If it was a 0.05 mint, in order to sell out that many, you know how many traders and flippers you're going to need buying those things? We talk about 10K being a high supply, and I mean, in a long-term sense, that's utter nonsense, but in the short-term sense, you know what percentage of every drop is flippers and traders? To say you don't want them in your drop is saying you don't want them to sell out, which means everyone who gave you 0.25 ETH is losing all of that ETH. These guys seem like bozos to even be thinking. I mean, that's the mindset of your team right now, that you're worried that people are going to sell the NFT. You are selling and expecting to make 2,000 goddamn Ethereum.
Let's not forget that they're also going to be taking royalties on this. So it's not like it doesn't benefit them to have some post-secondary or secondary action. The other thing in that kind of just gave me some mixed feelings about was the giving away $1 million. So they have said to their community and the most active members in the Discord, they're giving away a minimum of $10,000 a day, including cash, a sports car, Rolex, private jet flight, trip to the Maldives, and a capital to start a business. This is in a public wallet, and everything is trackable on Etherscan. First of all, it has been loosely verified that they have not been distributing the funds like they have said they are. They are at least behind on it. It looks like some have been, I guess. The other thing is, too, this is a pure indication of manufacturing hype. Most people are in that Discord, and it is 150,000 strong because of the engagement, the invitation whitelists that they did, and I think it was 15 that you had to get on this one. It was a lot, and the idea that people are sticking around in hopes that maybe they'll win $10,000 in cash. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this project isn't going to mint out. I'm not saying that it's not flippable, and as I mentioned, he did rescind that SPA and delete the message and said, due to overwhelming disagreement or whatever from the community, we've decided to remove the SPA. I get so many mixed feelings from something that is going down like that, and I'm not going to say that you or I are 100% correct. If you have or if you're very, very bullish on this project, just remember 0.25 is a very high mint price for it. And so just proceed at your own risk and understand that, especially if you're floating low liquidity, this is a big risk.
My feelings are not mixed in the slightest. My feelings are very defined here. There are more red flags than a Swiss embassy. This is any project that is doing money giveaways. I'm going to give you ETH. You can win money. You could win ETH. This is a cheap engagement tactic that is not sustainable for any project that is serious. The things they are promising are fugazi, absolutely ridiculous Zoom calls with celebrities and shit. This is something I would stay very far away from. I really appreciate Meme God bringing this to our attention. I would not make this your first mint at all.
Yeah, for sure. And that's an important part. Like, we appreciate when people bring this stuff to us, and if you want us to talk about it, we are more than happy to. I just like, if this had popped up and was a really cool project, and like I'd be more than willing to say that too. This isn't just like a hot take thing. But you know, as I did some digging on it, and I did spend some time looking at it, and I saw this, I just, you know, I feel like I would be doing everyone a disservice to say that I'm bullish on it. Now, like I said, I'm not always right. I've missed out on some pretty big projects and cooks because I just didn't have a good feeling about it. You know, and even despite a lot of the missteps that a project like BearX made, they managed to make it out not only unscathed, but last time I checked, holding above a 0.3 floor. So it's not like all is dead and lost just because you or I don't like the project, but you know, I wouldn't be looking at this as like the premier opportunity. But again, at your own risk, I don't want to dissuade anyone if you have conviction in the project from taking part in it. And I would hate to say don't do it, and then next thing you know, it's at like a 0.75 floor. But I am comfortable sitting this one out personally.
This is a JPEG crime. Oh, and if the creators want to come on our show, we are very open to an interview. So please hit us up in the DM.
I feel like it would turn into a yelling match based on the posts that he's made. Oh, Free Market's just like, mic drop, I'm out. Just me and Cass now. GM, my friend, how's it going?
No, I was just listening to you. Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Just looking after the little one. So if you hear little Bubba screaming and shouting, you know, I'm babysitting. Yeah, no, I was just listening to the last project that you guys were talking about, and it just sounded so sus, didn't it? Like 0.25 for a mint. It reminds me of another. It reminds me of another company. It reminds me of another company I saw kind of release their Discord yesterday.
Which one?
It's the West Coast Customs. They've got West Coast Customs have got, I think, mini whips or something like that. So they're going to be doing a game which I've known about for the past 4 months.
Okay.
But so they're going to be doing a car game. It's going to be on L2, I believe. But they decided to drop 10,000 NFTs at 0.95 on mint.
What, almost like just under at 1 ETH? Like 0.95?
No, sorry, 0.095.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's...
Yeah, that was a bit too much. But in saying that, they have done it before, because the first NFT, it was one of my first NFTs I bought. Mint was at 0.4 ETH. And this is when I knew nothing about NFTs, and I saw West Coast Customs, and I saw LDR rate, and I was like, oh my God, I need one. So I aped in. Those 3 or 4 projects that they tried to do didn't work. They tried to work with the crypto dads with the lawn mower machines. That didn't really work. And then they ended up getting a artist from the UK, which I know. So before they kind of signed a deal with him, I bought his art. And he produced the art for this next project. But I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to sell 10,000 in this current market? Oh, well, no, their release date, I think, is on January the 7th. Which, I'm not being funny, after Christmas, everyone's broke. So I don't know how they're going to do it. And they're promising the world again, but again, I don't know how they're going to do it.
It's an interesting case study for me because this kind of falls into my thesis of known brands who are going to be using Polygon and other L2s to start launching mainstream facing NFT projects. So That's interesting. You brought it to my attention. I'm actually going to go take a look at it, but I see you already have some concerns, though. That is interesting. That's a History Channel show, isn't it? West Coast Customs. They have like a reality show on history where they repair and juice up classic cars and things like that, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing which I've noticed. On their Twitter account, if I'm not mistaken, they've got 2.5 million followers. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when they post something about car stuff, okay, yeah, it goes to the moon, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you put something about NFTs, on the other hand, right? 13, 14, 15, 16.
You know who it reminds me of? Did you see this Ben Baller's blockchain project? Yeah, same deal. It's like the guy has so many followers, but what percentage of them are like crypto fluent, right? Like when you talk about somebody as big as, say, Kanye West or a celebrity like that, they have so many fans that even if it's a micro percentage that is crypto fluent, you're going to see movement in whatever they're talking about. Whereas when you have 2 or 3 million, it's a lot. But how many of those 2 or 3 million for like a kitschy History Channel Midwest type of show are going to be crypto fluent, and that really moved the needle, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And a lot of these projects, I don't know, they're trying to be different, but they just seem like they're rewriting the wheel at the moment. So, yeah, we'll just see how it goes into the new year.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
How are you guys doing?
Fabulous.
I am great, man. It is Friday. I've got a wedding to go to tomorrow, not my own, and I'm gonna have some fun with the open bar there, and I'm sure Sunday is going to be a treat.
They have an open edible bar?
No, but I'm sure you could BYOE. BYOE,
all right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's edible friendly. I'm jumping on that train. I'm going down to the local weed club, as they call it in New York.
Oh my god! I am elated. Look at that.
It's market research.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
But I'll leave you guys to it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Cass.
R2D, Jen, if you need some edibles sent to you, bro, just holler me in.
I was about to say, I'm not sure how well that goes over in the mail. I'm like, God, I am a cop.
Don't worry. I've got a couple of links in California, bros. I can send it from there. It's all right.
Yeah, we're all in legal municipalities now. Nothing illegal going on here.
No, for sure.
Well, guys, have a good one, yeah? And I'll see you on Monday.
You too, man. Thanks so much.
Love, guys.
Sams, I'm just going to invite you up on the stage. I know you had your hand up. If you put it down because you changed your mind, feel free to just decline the invitation. It is all good one way or another. But it was nice getting to chat with you last night as well. It was pretty cool to get to know some of the newer people. Free Market has left me up here by myself again. Oh, there he is. Are you there? Not really sure.
All right. No, this has been a fun day of technical glitches, but we did something really fun last night up in the Moon Lounge with Sam and a few others. You want to tell them about it? Yeah,
we just, we've been kind of recognizing that, the DGen Dojo and, some of Alpha Mint is a little bit difficult to break into. Sometimes the chat moves so fast. Everybody kind of we have our inside jokes and memes, and we're having fun, and it can be very daunting to see some of these not daunting, but there's just everybody kind of already knows each other, and it's hard to kind of just insert yourself into a fast moving conversation. So we hosted a little cocktail hour last night for some of the new members of Wave 3 to just join in and come chat with myself and Free Market and some of the other team and hang out there. And it was a lot of fun. Got to hear some really cool stories about how people got in NFTs, and it's always really refreshing to to talk to some new faces and see, the stuff that they're looking at and the way that they view NFTs and all of that stuff. And of course, all of these people are of varying experience levels in NFTs too, but more specifically just new to Alpha Mint. But yeah, it was really fun, and happy to be able to welcome them into to Alpha Mint. So
Yeah, thanks for the great conversation, guys, and we're looking forward to more happy hours in the not so distant future.
yeah, we'll also host some like full members, happy hours as well for everybody to take a part of, and we'll all pour ourselves a cocktail or whatever your vice is, and just kick back and have some fun. So Yamar, is that right?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me up here. It's Yimar.
Yimar. Sorry, my apologies.
No worries, man. So I just want to ask you guys and talk to you guys about a new project that Discord just opened up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's called Primate Planet.
Oh yeah, I saw that floating around a little bit yesterday, and I believe I joined it. There's some cool stuff about it. Primate Planet, yeah, I am in it. I'm gonna try and pull it up. I wasn't super quick to pass judgment on it just because they only had 2 sneak peeks on it yesterday, and um, it is a 3D project, so it's a little bit tricky. 3D doesn't always really play very well currently, and it's very hard to get a lot of clear, distinguishable traits on it, especially when people are trying to use these as profile pictures. But I just saw that they dropped a new one, I guess, this morning with a kind of a red hoodie and a baseball hat on and a cigar, and it looks pretty good. The quality of the art looks pretty nice too. So
I'll tell you, the tides may be changing with that too. If you look at crypto bulls, which
yeah, true, actually, valid point.
Wow, what a cook there! They were at a 3 point something floor yesterday. Last time I checked, this is a really good looking 3D profile picture project. We got Clone X, which is build to reveal sometime between now and 2025, and I think that these could start a new trend towards 3D. As Metaverse is getting hot right now. We know 3D assets are going to be a big thing, and there's just been so much, I think, FUD and people ignoring 3D because it hasn't worked for the last few months, that the tide could be changing. So I saw the previews for this ape project, though I did not join the Discord, and I thought to myself, wow, there's a lot of good-looking 3D projects coming on now. I wonder if it's time.
Yeah, I mean, as we kind of move towards the realization of these metaverse, like the Sandbox and Decentraland, and as their usage ends up kind of climbing, I would definitely look for these like metaverse-ready things to start increasing in popularity as well. This might be one of them. Do you mind if I ask what your take on it is? I'm assuming you've done a little bit of digging.
Well, first of all, there's not much on it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's less than 24 hours open. They're already past 100K members. It's pretty active. There's bots, of course. That's just the nature of a brand new Discord. And the team is working on actually cleaning that up.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed the whitelist. So originally it was the invite, and they had to shut that down because people were just spamming trying to get whitelist. So they did change it. Now it's more engaging. So that's definitely a positive. And the only thing I'm a little concerned is maybe they're riding the wave of Hate Beast is the only concern that I may have on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a couple of runoff projects that do well in the wake of some other successful projects. Even with Wolf Game, we saw Wizards and Dragons do very well. So it's not an entirely insurmountable thing to be following another project. But yeah, I mean, my biggest thing that I would be looking at is how they end up managing this gigantic community that they've formed. Kind of weird to see their announcement this morning at 9:20 about getting over 100,000 members in the Discord be met with so many clown emojis. Like, that's something that kind of feels weird to me. I don't know why so many people are internally fudding that, but that's not their fault, I would assume. But yeah, I would just watch closely how they decide to manage a huge influx of people in such a short amount of time. 100,000 is a lot of people to get into a Discord at 24 hours being open, right? So, and also the other thing that I would watch is, as I mentioned, with their sneak peeks and their avatars, like I want to see some variety in how they look, right? When you have a drop of 8,000, and everybody wants to use these when they're all kind of side by side, like how do they look in that profile picture? Like if you're in the Discord right now, and you look at the founders and the team who are all rocking the profile pictures, right? Like how much variance do you see in those? And like that's kind of one of my thesis about profile picture projects is how much do people actually want to use these because it makes them an individual and stands out, right? So I see the Caesar one as the founder looks pretty cool. It's like an icy ape. But I would definitely look for them to release a little bit more variety in their sneak peeks because I would hate to see 50 of these all side by side, 50 different ones all side by side, and they all kind of end up looking the same, right? Because that is, people are individuals. People want their own personality, their own brand. A profile picture is a huge reflection of that. And, if you're rocking one of 8,000, it's not quite as fun as rocking one of what you think is a one of one. So if you have any questions regarding what I mean for that, like for sure, we can continue talking.
Oh no, man, I definitely agree with you. I mean, you got to stand out, you got to be unique, especially when there's thousands of projects dropping daily, and you have to be unique to stand out and actually build that community and hold it success.
Yeah, like take a look at the stage that we have right now, and this kind of goes for everyone. The audience, sorry, not the stage. And like so many of these profile pictures, like I can immediately point to who's who in that. Like even just Dimps, we talked about his Robato's pig down there. SBM is rocking a kaiju. Venom's rocking a kaiju. Maz has got his ether orc. Braves has got the same ether orc. Like those are cool individual things, and like I don't even need to see the name to associate the personality with it. But for that to work, it's got to be very quick and it's got to be very obvious, right? And I think that is a big indication. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. The only one thing that I did see that was unique, and maybe it's because the Discord is brand new, is the designers, the artists, is they're like revealing them like slowly. They're not throwing the whole docs out there originally.
Right, yeah. So they're doing a fully doxed team?
Well, they've only revealed one designer so far,
Mm-hmm.
and he's worked with like Disney, like Lion King, Marvel, and stuff like that. So that's pretty unique. I don't know the guy personally, haven't looked him up yet.
Yeah.
But from what they put on there and stuff, there's supposed to be more in that realm. So I mean that could be very important and crucial, I think.
If they're doing this, I would love to see them actually post some links to their socials too, because I mean, you can. I'm not saying that they're doing this, but you can just pull like a random picture off the internet and create a backstory for somebody, and it's nice to see that. Oh, this guy's Twitter has been active for 7 years, and like he's got 4,000 followers, and his posts go back a couple years, so it's not just like a persona that they've created. We have seen that in the past, right? There are projects that will say they have a docs team, and it turns out that none of the people actually exist in it. Just watch for that. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that that's Primate Planet, but those are kind of just the mental checklists that I start going through when I look at a project. It's like, okay, they're doxing their team, great. Like let's verify that this team is that person actually exists, right? Especially if it's something that I really feel the need to mint, and I'm going to do a little bit of research on it.
Yeah, the minimum should be 11 years on Twitter and 2,100 followers. That should be your. I'm joking.
I was like, why is that so specific? I'm like, oh, I get it. You. Cool, man. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm just gonna hide in the shadows of this project, and I'm not gonna jump on it yet. But I mean, it's moving. Chat's moving very quickly.
Could you drop me a Discord link? I didn't get a chance to join it yet. Maybe in the AM show chat or something.
Yeah,
Or general. Cool.
but they don't have like the personal invites, and it's just have the main one. But I'll send that over.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you jumping up on stage and coming to have a conversation with us. That's always amazing to hear from all the people listening to the show. So we appreciate you even just being here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm brand new to the Alpha Mint channel.
Are you? Oh, nice.
Cyber babies, so
Oh, awesome. Welcome.
over here. So Cyber babies and Alpha Mint, I'm loving it. So I'm glad to be here, man.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's great to have you. Well,
They're
I'm
kind
sure
of
we'll do it again
PFP-able,
too.
huh? They're kind of PFP-able, these primate planets. I
Yeah,
see
like
them
I
in the
s-
little circles. Yeah.
it's doable. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
some unique traits, right? Like
Yeah, me
some
too. Me too.
some
Not
pop.
bad though. Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Wow, we got some hands up right now. Let's get to Venom. We got some time here. The content portion of the show was a little shorter than it normally is. So we got Venom, then we'll get to Josh, and we'll finish it up with Illidan. And you'll have to excuse me. I just have to step away from the microphone for 1 second. So if you want to say hi to Venom, Venom, how are you?
Good morning, King.
What's going on, boys?
Oh, living the dream, man. We're having a
Hell
good
yeah.
day.
Hell yeah. I apologize. I missed a little bit of the beginning, so I jotted down, some notes, kind of what's going on that I got my eyes on over the past like 24 hours or whatever, in the space, and kind of wanted to see if you were paying attention to the same things
Sweet.
and what was going on and shit. Number one thing was Hungry Buns had a really, really stagnant rollout of their drop. They're about to enter public sale, and I think they maybe minted like 600 or 700 units. Kind of interesting just because they're like a staking project, pixel art, really, really dope. Pretty clean pixel art, especially the chunks, the bigger version, the animated ones. And yeah, I feel like this is kind of a little bit of a signaling of like maybe potentially like the death of staking, etc., for like projects that they also had a weird rollout, right? Like they shut their Discord, they kept everything super tight. So I feel like had they rolled it out a little quicker, maybe it would have caught some of that like pizzazz. But yeah, it's seeming kind of dead in the water right now. I didn't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, this is like the second Pixel project in the last week that was kind of highly anticipated. Had a very similar model to a lot of the stuff we've seen with a token and all this type of stuff, and it really just didn't sell. I think at this point, if you're going to do a similar template, it really has to fire on every cylinder, including your launch going well. Like as you said, often when you have momentum, if you stop it, it is very hard to restart it. And you see that with these projects, and I think Hungry Buns was a victim of that yesterday. Yeah, it was decent pixel art. It was fun. I'm not sure. Maybe also the idea of being a fat bunny didn't appeal to too many people. I know it sounds crazy, but I think people want to feel cool and this type of thing. And while the art is fun, is it something people want to rock as their meta identity? I'm looking at projects,
especially off the back of like all the staking FOMO and FUD and just I don't see it like all the fees, like cosmic ducks, like how much money am I spending to stake, etc. Like you know what I'm saying, like. Yeah, and I love like Castell and like the project leads on shit like that, but it's like tough because it's just so cost heavy.
It is, and I've made a prediction that I really do believe the next cycle's SHIB type move is going to come from one of these utility tokens. So I think having conviction in a project, cough Kaiju King's cough, and really sticking to that token and holding it out, it's good. But like playing every staking project and then trying to participate in the game of it gets so expensive. So you really better have convictions on the one you choose.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I guess the other thing we could chat about really quickly is how ridiculous Punk Comics 20 transaction limit for the drop this morning was, and basically 500 owners bought all 10,000 Punk #2 comics, and
wow.
so much disastrous FUD going on about like, well, you told me to buy a planet. We were gonna have
Oh
time.
no, yeah. I mean, it all went live and went down as we were on this show, so I've got some catching up to do. But I know Scott is probably was partaking in that drop. I don't know if he's available to come up and maybe comment on that. But I'm interested. I'm interested.
Quick little 10,000 to 500 holders, 20 transaction limit. It was gone and like before, it was just gone. Yeah, I guess it's real quick. I know you guys want to chat with other people. So a big thing that I saw happen last night was when OpenSea was down, there was a hard wallet hack, potential hard wallet hack. There was a woman, I believe, I was just following this on Twitter and through Eddie Kong's a little bit reposted this morning that refreshed my memory. There was a bundle sold via a hard wallet, and it shouldn't have happened. Something along the lines of OpenSea proxy contact or allowed it, and it was essentially 100 Ethereum, priced at 100 Ethereum, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and a doodle gone.
Oh wow.
So that's huge. Like as far as like if that's like a hard wallet, a OpenSea hack or whatever, that happened while OpenSea was down yesterday. So that was pretty interesting.
Do you want to? Can you link to some kind of something relatively comprehensive on Twitter about that free market? Did you see that?
Leave it to a Bored Ape to get a hardware wallet hacked. No,
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
The savagery, I love it.
I've never. I mean, look, I don't even know how
But that truly does affect us all. That truly does.
It does. It does. That's serious. And I mean, L1 security is why we're all here paying gas fees. And if this was on any way OpenSea's doing, because of some, poor structure in their proxy or however that works, that is egregious, and they should make this person whole somehow.
Yeah. I want to actually dig into that story because I'm sure that's something that we can talk about in depth on Monday.
Yeah, that's a super. Yeah, so I just quickly a couple other points real quick. Like Pepsi, their drop coming up. Big companies. I tweeted yesterday. I was like, please don't take my happy place away. Like this is gonna get so slippery so quickly. I don't know if you guys saw the exchange where like all the different, like it was Budweiser, Pepsi, and I forget one other company. We're all talking. Maybe want to throw up.
It was vomit inducing. Like, but
they're trying so hard though, guys. Come on.
They are. No,
but do we need them? Do we need them?
No.
But
it's inevitable, right?
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, it does help the comfort level of people. If you go on the like an Instagram or a Facebook, like NFTs are a joke and a scam. Like everywhere you go, the second that you put NFTs, even on like NFT centric pages, it's just hundreds of people being like, "This is a scam," or
absolutely. I mean, and the Web2 brands coming into Web3,
it legitimizes it.
I completely agree. That's just a little bit of a poking fun at those atrocious tweets, and then
it was brutal.
And then
it does feel like that. Like, how do you do, fellow kids? Like,
oh yeah, that was my response. That meme, I broke it out.
Yeah, like they patted us on the head, like we found you. Good job, guys. That's how it felt a little bit.
Love it.
And yeah, like 3D art, you guys are saying like it's definitely. I'm feeling the vibes as it's ushering in with like Croaks, Hape Beast.
Croaks was a good one too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that like, obviously we can all see that land properties. The properties drop happening today. Wilder World, all that stuff. I mean, Neo Tokyo just had $1 million sale. I could go on and on. So I just wanted to say good morning to you guys, and cheers, boys.
Thanks, man. Really.
Yeah, of course.
Great topics. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get who did you invite up? Oh, there's Scott. Scott's here.
Hey guys.
Hello, boss.
GM.
Good morning.
Did you get your comics?
Crazy drop. I did get some comics. Not the best drop I've seen.
Oh yeah, it's we hear it's sloppy. 500 wallets for 10,000.
I mean, what were they thinking?
It seems I don't know what they were thinking. That is incredible. We saw gas spike to, I guess, 1600 at its peak, right?
Yeah, and I say this as someone that's been in Pixel Vault since Mint back in April and
Mhm.
literally have every one of their products. And people were saying this in the Founders DAO Discord ever since they announced, why is this 20 per transaction and why is it unlimited? And I'm looking at a tweet from G-Funk, the founder, because someone put up a tweet that said, hey, Pixel Vault holders, don't buy Comic 2 on secondary. Only 350 people got any. And G-Funk replied, there was no insider trading. I simply greatly underestimated demand. I will make it right. But I mean,
How do you make it right?
how could you underestimate demand for a Bored Ape times Pixel Vault
Right.
comic number 2 when the first comic is at a 78th floor? It's apes, and they just had news of the Coinbase partnership and the Adidas partnership. Demand was through the roof. So.
Yeah, I don't want to say inside job, but that was the first thing that popped into my head. Like, it's almost like they invited it. I don't know. I mean, I hope that works itself out okay, because it's, whatever you think of Beanie and Punk Comics and Pixel Vault, Adidas has now adopted them. These projects are going to be representing us to people who do not know NFTs. So I think we all need to root for them to succeed. And this is scary when something like this happens. Big blind spot.
Yeah, and secondary is flying right now. I mean, it's around like a 0.45 or 0.49 floor. It's done 400 ETH in volume. And
what was the mint? What was the price?
0.1. So it's already like 4x from mint.
Okay.
God, that almost seems like a buy right now. Like, I'd probably go
right?
pick one of those up.
Serious? Yeah. I'm like 0.4? That seems good.
Yeah, not financial advice. I just wish they had done it differently. I wish they'd done it I saw 100 people buy the Founders DAO token yesterday to get access to the mint. And,
Oof.
you knew people were going to gas for this. I wish it had been they could have done two per Founders DAO and let the distribution be amazing for this. But yeah, I mean, it'll definitely bottom out. And then I would expect it to go higher, honestly, for it being the second comic in Apes.
Honestly, it appeals to me more than Punk's comic for some reason. Like, when I heard Apes comic, like, just as my consumer hat on, that seems to appeal to me more for some reason.
Yeah, I've seen other people say that too, so I think you'd be right. But anyways, there's your Punk's comic mishap of a drop.
Inside take. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. See you guys.
Everyone loves a good controversy. I'll say that. So, like, maybe
PT Barn. Very proud of the NFT industry. I'll say that.
Oh, did I just kicked Josh off the stage?
This is so on purpose at this point. I love it. You're feigning.
It's part of the shtick. Get out.
Come back up, Josh. We need you.
You were already up here, and then I went to invite you to speak, and then I'm sorry.
I'm coming. Oh, GM guys, GM.
GM,
it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've been waking up too late.
I was just thinking the other day, man, Josh just disappeared.
Waking up too late. We pushed the show back for you.
I know. I appreciate it. I know. Thank you for doing it just for me.
Of course.
And of course, I have to say, R2G DGen, what a great PFP you have, man.
Yeah, you like that, eh? I'm
very getting compliment after compliment on that one.
It works, man. Like, it's just so obvious what it is, and it fits into that little circle so well. So, Josh, thank you so much for doing that, man. If it's is it on OpenSea? Like, I need to buy this off of you. Like, go do that.
I'll
go mint it.
You don't have to buy it, obviously, but I'll mint it so it's on chain and you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would like to buy it off you, but you make that call.
You guys can pay me in Star Wolves related.
Oh, that's the play here, eh? Oh, wow.
They want your wolfies. They want your 10,000 followers. That Star Wolf account hit this morning on 6 tweets.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Man. Wild, and the amount of hype people have around it on Twitter, including myself. Yeah, I just got swept up in it all. It's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
So what's going on with you today?
Oh, Oh, not too much. I am super excited for Lemon Friends coming up here. Oh
The
man,
talk
I
of
don't
the
know if you guys already
town.
talked about it.
A little bit.
No, just once.
Just once. So super pumped for that. I was also what I wanted to ask about were some of these small projects we stumble upon, especially here in the Discord. One of the ones I'm thinking of specifically is like Ronin Cats, which is
Mm-hmm.
like this cute, kind of pixelated cat arty kind of stuff. It's just fun. It's cool, but it's a small Discord. There's maybe 1,000 people in
It
there.
didn't feel small the other day.
Right? The Ban Rajesh moment.
The legendary NFT meme coming out of that Discord, yeah.
My God, yes.
Good stuff. But I guess I'm just curious about how you guys think about sort of smaller projects. They haven't picked up momentum yet. They haven't gotten traction yet. When you look at them beyond like the obvious ones, like how strong and active is the community, how cool and PFPable is the art. Like, what do you guys look at in these kinds of things to kind of get a feel for if you want to get in there, stay active, and eventually mint?
This is such a good question, and I really hate one of the answers I'm about to give, which is the je ne sais quoi, right? Because, like, when you look at some other pixel projects, like Hungry Buns was just mentioned, right? It looks like everything is correct. It's the right art for the right time with the right model and all that stuff. I don't think Ronin Cats fits in that category. There's something there, and it's very hard for me to put my finger on it. We don't know a lot about the project. It does seem that it's going to be pretty low supply. The art is very nice, but we know that we've seen other very nice art fail. So what is it there where there's something? I don't know. I do think initial good vibes in the community. Like, there's always a viral moment, and for them it was the Ban Rajesh moment. And even now, if people joining the Discord have no idea about that, a few hundred people bonded over that. That makes me come back in and say GM. That makes me check on the project. We definitely like the art, and they're also implying that there's a little more to it. That's always a good thing if they're implying there's something more than what you see, but we don't want to quite get to it yet. As long as they're not doing it in a inorganic and manufactured way, those are kind of the things I look for. But I don't know, it has this je ne sais quoi to me. So maybe Cobain has a thought too.
Yeah, well, if we're talking specifically about Ronin Cats, like, yeah, they opened up a channel called When Ban Rajesh, and it's like still active too, and like I don't know. There was just like, it's like you said, it had that moment. It was fun, and maybe that is just specific to Alpha Mint in general, because we were all in on that joke while it was happening. But yeah, I thought it was indicative of them as community managers that they embraced the fun by creating a channel of it. They didn't just start screaming like, "Stop ruining our party." They did politely ask us to chill out and turn slow mode on, but it was an engagement kind of whitelist that they did. And I mean, they were cognizant of the fact that when you do those engagement things, people are just going to spam, and they allowed people that were having fun with it to and continue to have fun, right? They didn't do this like, we just want genuine community, like, and you don't. I maybe they did that a little bit, but they backed off. But yeah, you can't do an engagement whitelist competition and expect everybody in there to be grinding through legitimate fun conversation, right? So that was cool. Yeah. Lemon vibes. You know what? I think a lot of it also goes back to the expectations that the team are setting. The little Lemon friends in their Discord, he never really set the expectation that this was coming immediately. He never set the expectation that this is going to a 5 ETH floor. He was just in there having fun, engaging with people, giving away Discord nitros. And when you set those expectations, the when the drop doesn't happen as immediate as everybody seems to demand it to, it's not as detrimental to the project, I think. It's when you invite those 150,000 people into your Discord within the first 24 hours. Well, if you're not ready to launch in 3 days, like, a large percentage of those people are they're just going to move on, right? And even just that expectation of, holy shit, this is hype. There's so many people in here. This has all happened so quickly, and they're, beating the drum on Twitter saying, 100,000 and 30,000 followers, and how does this happen? Like, they are setting an expectation that this is hype, and when things are hype, the expectation is that it happens quickly, right? So if they're not going to drop for a month, like, that could be really bad for their project.
Love that. Yeah. It's such an interesting space with these smaller up and coming projects. The stuff that doesn't get that massive influx. I feel like it's much harder to analyze, but it is a lot more intuitive in a way, like Market was saying. Like, there is hey, does this just feel right? Has the community got the vibes? Are they like setting realistic expectations, or knowing not to do too solid of a defined roadmap and kind of leaving it there to grow? I love all that. So cool. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, you got it.
Under promise, over deliver. This should be everybody's motto if you're running an NFT project or a company. You under promise and you over deliver.
All right. Let's bring up in business. I know he's put his hands up a couple times in the past, and we haven't been able to get to him.
One of the 500 wallets that botted the shit out of the Pixel Vault drop coming up to tell us about his score.
Well, thanks to you guys. I
That's what we're here for.
I woke up a little late today, and I pop onto the AM and hear 1600 Gwei, and I was like, it happened. Ran over to my computer, and I was like, I can't believe I missed this. I see it like still counting down. I was like, wow, okay, this is gone. Yeah, people. I guess a lot of the people in Pixel Vault, they just put 500 or 700, and we're just hoping that they
yeah, knowing you, I bet you sent it.
Oh yeah, I sent it. I was like, this is. I think I sent like 2,000 max, and priority fee. I mean, base way was at like 1,100 at the time. A lot of times if you see base at 1,100, you don't really need to have that high of a priority fee. I mean, like 75 or 100 will do it. You're gonna pay 1,200, but you're just gonna pay 1,200 max.
Right. So
I got.
You said 14 of them, right?
Yeah. I had to move some money around the wallet because I wasn't expecting it to be 0.2 or whatever. So I was just like calling. I think I paid like $30 just to do a transfer from one wallet to another because I had to do the transfer at, or $100 to do the transfer because I had to do the transfer at 1,200 Gwei.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be a good pickup.
I mean, so. How many times have we said it though? Almost every time when if it comes out of nowhere and there's gas, maybe it's like like we see a stealth mint and there's a gas form. Maybe that one is a fluke. But anytime that these like expected drops go high Gwei, like I mean, think about it for you guys. Which one of these would not have made you money paying the high gas?
None, all of them. That they're always getting into a gas war is profitable if you could win.
Yeah, if you can win, and if you're willing to send it, for sure. It does make people that are sitting in low liquidity difficult for them to participate, though.
Yeah, don't even try. Other strategies for that.
Definitely puts a pit in your stomach, right? But it's just so weird how many times like you don't pay the 1,500 Gwei, and then you're sitting there on the secondary with FOMO and things 3 times the price that it was with the gas, and you're like, So this time I was just like, this is going to be a full send for me. So
I think it's a good bet. Good bet to have conviction on, in my opinion, regardless of the short-term action here. But it is up 20% even since Scott came on to tell us about the drop.
Yeah, and I mean, with those, I guess with this one, with the low holder count, I think this is very much a non-flipper market of product. So these holders are just going to squirrel most of those away.
I would think so. There may be some supply come on, but I tend to agree with you there.
A little bit, but I was just checking on it, and I think there are 264 for sale right now. So if you were thinking about grabbing one, now I think I looked at it. There's a wall right now at like 0.5, and then then it's pretty much clear skies to 1 ETH. So
yeah, I mean that can be a little deceptive too, though, because a lot of people only list when they're trying to like sell into the volume, right? So once that floor kind of approaches the 0.5 ETH and it's not getting eaten at as fast as everybody thinks it should be, then people start to undercut and back down you go. Not saying that'll happen here, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
But we definitely know that, when we see collections that have smaller listing counts, we tend to see a lot more volatility in pricing.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Both up and down. So I would, probably we'll see some funky whipsaws in the pricing of Punk's comics today. That'll be an interesting one to just like if anybody's, I would say for beginners, if it definitely would be a good thing. Go to the activity page of that list of Punk's comic 2 and just watch the price action on that throughout the day, just to kind of see how those ebb and flow. If maybe not jump into it if you don't know what you're doing. But
that's actually a great piece of advice, is to like watch those high profile drops and watch how they kind of move and ebb and flow throughout the day. I've done that so many times where I'll put the sales and I'll put the listings on, and I have no skin in the game and just kind of see how it all plays out. And you start to internalize a lot of that information, and you start to get that like that gut feeling, which is really just the accumulation of all of the knowledge you've acquired. And your gut isn't always right, and sometimes the market surprises you, but the more that you can kind of internalize that information, the more you'll probably just have a good feel for things.
What are you guys most excited about today besides Little Lemon Friends?
That's pretty much the only thing.
No, the Pepsi.
Pepsi
thing, right?
Well, right. And then we did. How many people did anybody else jump on the recur thing yesterday?
What was that? What was that for?
Still be open. So recur was the one I was putting some due diligence in the thread. I think Hologram jumped on it. They are a venture backed. They did a $40 million seed round at a $450 million valuation back in September. And I looked at them. It was the Recur Forever, I think, is the website. RECUR. They have like the Hello Kitty brand. They're going to be doing the NFTs for Hello Kitty and Viacom, all of Viacom, so all of Nickelodeon stuff. They got like, they seem to be poised to be a relatively large player in the space. Gary Vee tweeted about it yesterday. They were selling their mint pass basically for 24 hours. There was no limit on the number of them that they were going to sell, so that was a little difficult. I think the sale is done though. It looks like I'm on the website right now, and I think the sale is now.
Is it done? I thought it was like another 2 hours left on it.
It may be. I just went to recurforever.com and I couldn't see it, so it's possible that like you have to put your email in. But it was a $300 drop, and it just seemed like a very high with the kind of numbers we've seen coming out of like Budweiser and the NFL drop. It just seemed like for projects that have really good IP, and not necessarily like Katy Perry's new tour NFT, but like long-standing IP projects. Like I think Hello Kitty would definitely qualify as one that's going to have high demand, right? I think you guys would agree with that, or no?
Yes, Nickelodeon too. I think that's what was gotten me really excited.
Yeah, like Rugrats and all of that stuff. I think those are going to be for $300 as a mint pass, and I just think that's a very not very inexpensive. I mean, we buy NFTs that have that gas cost. I don't like that they're going to be doing all of their NFTs on Polygon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you guys would be with me on that one, but with the IP that they have collecting, they seem to be one of the companies that's going to offer crypto or fiat purchase, and be kind of they're trying to get into that on-ramp play of the normie brands of NFTs into the masses. So
yeah,
I
cool.
Oh, Definitely have to
Love those properties. Got to see them. Got to check it out.
watch the recur. Yeah, I heard a couple people talking about that yesterday. But thanks for popping up in business, and thanks for kind of giving us the DL on the
Thank
Punks
you
comic
guys
too.
for mentioning the past. I would have gone about my morning and then checked in 20 minutes later and cried myself for the rest of the day until I saw my beautiful lemon friends in my wallet.
Just don't forget about us when you're one of the big whales in the space.
Okay.
Cool, man. Eldon, what's going on? We're gonna finish it off with you, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. I half forgot what I was going to talk about.
That's right. Yeah, you had your hand up for a long time. I appreciate your patience.
No, like, no worries. One of the things I think I was going to mention was over the weekend, Croaks will also be minting. I know a few people were kind of keen on it, so I don't know if people just want a quick reminder on that. I believe it's minting on the 11th, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So that should be good. I mean, if you hold the cryptodes, you're automatically whitelisted and a few other things like that. But it's not a huge supply. I think it's like 5K or 6K, something like that. But it does seem to be one that a lot of people are very keen on. It's got original art, 3D as well, and there's been a bunch of hype around it. So that seems to be good. I'm gonna try and get it on that one's public sale because I don't have a cryptode, so gonna have a look at that one. And
this one is I have PTSD from any Toads derivatives plus the 3D profile picture combined. I'm just like, oh, but I want to.
I'm with you on that. I have a lot of Toad / frog related PTSD. That and Toads as well, which I minted a ton of and then got fudded out of. And watch them rip from friggin' 0.02 to like a 4 ETH floor. So, yeah, but that's on. And there was something else I was going to say. I forgot. When Scott came on about what the hell were punks thinking. It's kind of weird that like a lot of these, what you would call big established sort of brands in the space seem to be kind of just fucking it up at the moment. Like, what are your thoughts or comments on that? Because I mean, that one's a bit weird because there's no doubt that they would have been able to sell that out, right? Like, if they put the limits in, it still would have been able to get sold out. But it just got me thinking, like, are some of these guys just doing that? Like some of the big ones, right? Like this good old Clown X. Are they doing that to make sure they've got cash in now because they're thinking in the back of their head that maybe a top is nearing and they just want to get all the money in now and so that way they've got their runway?
I personally believe that this is, these are teams that have to understand what they're doing and what's going on and what the market wants and what their holders want and stuff like that, and the fact that they would go ahead and do this anyways, like kind of Free Market said, like how would they not have realized what the demand behind this was? That seems like such a weird statement to me. So I mean, I don't want to get like too like conspiracy theory oriented, but half of me wonders if they just do it anyways because, kind of as the conversation happened before, like a lot of these people, they're going to mint 20 and they're going to squirrel a ton of them away. They're going to restrict the supply and the floor price is going to go, kind of parabolic based on the demand of everybody trying to scoop them up off the secondary, right? Because, even a 0.5 ETH floor seems pretty palatable when you know that the other ones are up to 4 or 5, 6, 7 ETH, right?
0.65.
0.65 now? Wow. So
how much was that to mint? That was 0.05 to mint, right?
0.1, I believe they said.
Yes, 0.1. Yeah.
Right.
0.1. And with gas, you're looking at what, like 0.3, I guess. That's 1,600.
So I guess I just got to believe that these teams are aware of what they're doing. It just seems so disingenuous to be like, we had no idea. Like, you've been in the NFT space long enough, and certainly you haven't just stuck within your bubble these last, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. And I don't know.
Doesn't he own the punk with the clown nose?
No, that would be the Artifact founder.
Pointless dig. Are we at 4 yet? Every time We get to 3.99. Some goddamn mother son of a whatever throws 20 on the floor, and we go back to 3.8.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my god, I'm
that's
just gonna let
the
you
issue
guys
that-
commiserate with each other over fucking Clone X.
Why isn't it 5? Why is it only 4?
Why are my JPEGs only $16,000? Why can't they be 20?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully they reveal soon.
Are you still holding? Are you still holding?
Yes.
Nah, boy. I'm glad it's gonna work out for you. I think.
I hope so.
I think there's one more DNA. There's one more DNA for them to leak. So you know how they've been leaking the different types? Yeah, I think there's one more to leak, then they'll announce a reveal is coming.
Yeah. Well, what was it? 7 DNAs that are available, so they're leaking 1 per day to squeeze out that full week of pre-reveal. But I don't know. Maybe they expected the floor price to get a little bit higher.
Still trading at an incredible 12.5% royalty.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, but then again, they massively disincentivize trading. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. But
to the tune of 10,000 ETH.
Oh my god, is it that high now? Wow.
Yeah, that means they have made themselves another cool 1,000 ETH, almost enough to refund everybody.
Hint.
Nice. Well played, sir.
But yeah, I have a feeling what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait till like fucking Sunday night to do that reveal.
Well, let's get them up to 6 before.
Hopefully they're not in competition with Lemon Friends, because Lemon Friends is gonna just crush them.
Crush them.
Take the wind out of their sails.
I won't cry in the least when they get flipped by little Lemon Friends.
Amazing.
It'll be a happy day.
Well, I mean, it'll be a much better return, that's for sure. Right? That will be like 150 x return on little Lemon Friends. So yeah, sign me up for that. But yeah, no, I think that's more or less what I wanted to mention. Just remind that Croaks is on. There's something else going on over the weekend as well, but I can't remember.
I almost brought up Syn City with you, and I'm just not going to go there, so I'll leave that one alone.
No, I was gonna say a few things about it, but it's you talked about it at the start of the show, and I think you covered most of it.
This is a family-friendly show too, and we know the kind of language that once you start ramping up, so we'll just finish it off there.
I was very family-friendly when we were talking about Syn City.
ARG is ARG 3, I believe, is meant to be live straight away. So I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be going. Sorry,
ASG is about to be live.
No, their third hunt, I believe, went live straight away. So I don't know how many people are actually going after that one. Or
we miss you, Andrew. We're talking about you, Andrew.
Oh God. All right.
So yeah, this time we'll leave it. So I think we'll wait 72 hours for them to give half the answers, and yeah, then we'll jump on it.
Yeah, it's so true. All you have to do is wait for them to catch you up, and then you can start with a fresh mind. So there you go.
They did brick pretty hard though. They went down to 2 from 4.5.
I'm happy to see it too. I like when the market decides to reject this bullshit. But it's back up to 0.275, so there you go. Or 2.75.
2.75, yeah. I mean, like, as I mean, not to fucking go on about this again and again, right? But I mean, it is literally a reskinned game where they've added NFTs. But something I realized yesterday, going over it again, is they've not just added NFTs, they've added NFTs and DeFi, both. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that actually plays out.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do like an unpacking of everything once probably the 4th wave sells out and we get a little bit more information about how the entire thing is going to work. But yeah, until then, I've exhausted myself participating in it. I've exhausted myself talking about it, and I just want it to be over.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I just went out and bought Halo, so I'm going to play Halo for a few days, I think.
There you go.
Like, I actually went out and just bought a fucking Xbox today. Like, all right, I need a break.
Amazing.
Oh, your wife thanks you.
All right, so we're gonna finish it off there. That seems like a good place to stop talking, and we'll pick it back up on Monday morning. But Free Market, do you want to finish us off with anything else?
Yeah, good luck at the tables, guys.
Yeah, it should be a great weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back at this Monday morning, 9:30 is the usual time now. For anybody that showed up late, missed any of the episodes, we're going to be recording this as always for YouTube and Spotify. And please keep a lookout on the weekend. We're going to be releasing our little, not our little lemon friends, our interview with Ghost that happened yesterday, and our Rusty Hogs interview that's going on at 2 p.m. Eastern today. So we'll drop those over the weekend for a little bit of content to fill in some gaps. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.